Hey up troops, Littleton here again with another video, and as you can probably see, we're on Lair. This time we're going to go through a Valkyrie setup at every single site on Lair, starting with what I think is the strongest site down in basements, ending with what I think is the fourth strongest site, or the weakest site, on weapons armory. This might be the fastest intro ever. There's nothing to waffle about. I'm just going to show you a couple of cameras, well, 3 cameras usually for each site, a Valkyrie setup for each site. What are we waffling for? Why are we still waffling? Let's get stuck into it. Right then, let's get cracking. I'm going to start with the sites that I believe are stronger. So I'm going to go from basement first, then we'll work our way around to the next sites that I think are best, ending with what I think is the worst. So the first site is down here in basements. And the first camera that we're going to put down is right here under the workbench in missile. So this is the area into the warehouse area. This here, there's another access over there, but this is lockers. And we're going to throw the first camera under the bench here. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, when you first come around the corner here, whether you're coming from lockers, whether you're coming from warehouse, is that actually called warehouse on the map? Yeah, it is, yeah. Whether you're coming from lockers, whether you're coming from warehouse, when you get here, I mean, we know where the camera's right, it's there, but if you didn't know that was there, you're absolutely not seeing that. But the beauty of that camera is not only can you see people coming in from warehouse and from lockers, you see this bit of a cross here. The camera sees this bit of it, like from that corner to the edge of the door. This area here is important. And the reason for that is there's a hatch drop here, and there's another door here. So if somebody drops the hatch and then crosses, there'll be a rotate here normally. Somebody drops the hatch and then either crosses to go to this area here, where you'll see the camera under the counter there, or whether they come around this door and they start pushing this area here in toxin, whether they're going to go through that rotate or whether they're going to try to go through that door, you're going to see that small bit of it. Let me stand in the area, actually. Around here. A little bit more to the left, sorry. You're going to see that area there, so you're going to see if anyone crosses there. It's really, really important, but obviously you're also going to see the missile area itself. The next one that we're going to do is round here in lockers itself. This area here is becoming increasingly popular to push because there's a door there. There's this... excuse me a minute. Sorry, I just had to cough. I'm still grotesquely unwell. These walls will generally be reinforced, or what I actually recommend, just to go on a quick tangent, is you reinforce this side. And then you make feet holes this side. And then you can hold the feet holes if anyone walks across, and you're going to be able to get a better angle on them than they are on you. You get rid of that bit as well. Hello? There we go. So yeah, you can hold that much easier now if anyone was to cross there. But this is becoming an increasingly popular way to attack, and people are reinforcing this as well. So if that's double reinforced, you open this door and you get this whole area for free. Then you come into here. That's then lockers, that's then warehouse. So it's quite a busy part of the map, or it's certainly becoming more busy with people pushing that way. Where I like to put my cam is under this bench, just on the foot there. So when you foot of the bench. So when you walk in, again, you can't see the camera unless you're there, but you're not going to be able to see that anyway. When you walk in, you can see that, but look at the view it gives you. A really good view of all of the room of lockers. Obviously, you can see it. Let me move out of the way. You can see the door there, so you're going to be able to see if anyone comes through. Not only that, you're going to be able to see the feet holes. So if you do make feet holes there, you're going to be able to see through into there. You're going to get the early warning that someone's there. You can make your mind up how you want to defend that. The third camera goes upstairs. This is quite a fun one to throw, actually. You've got 2 options upstairs. You've got 2 hatches, both of which have got soft floor around them, so it's C4 City. So you can either cover this hatch, and that's the one I'm going to do in a minute, or you can cover this hatch here in Armoury, which has got the hatch here. Again, you can put the camera anywhere you want in here, like open that corner, or underneath here to try and cover it a little bit, wherever you want to put it, just to give you a view of that hatch if you want to. I personally think this hatch is busier, and again, you've got a wealth of options wherever you want to put it here in lobby. I like throwing it as high up as I can on top of the missile. I've actually missed and hit the roof there, but let's pretend I hit the missile. I can't believe I've done that, but I actually throw it normally at the top of the pin of the missile. It looks better up there, although it's definitely easier to see. Throw it on the top of the missile. Should I re-record that? Yes, I probably should. Am I going to? I'm not, because I feel like an absolute dump. So let's just pretend I threw it perfectly up there. It gives you a whole overview, obviously, of the lobby area. You're going to be able to watch that hatch drop, and you're going to be able to ping for C4s. You can even then go downstairs and pre-place a C4, but they're the 3 cameras I use. Remember, you can use the other one on the other hatch. Up to you which hatch you want to protect, really. And make sure you throw it to the top of the missile. I'm sorry about that. Here we are then on the second site, which I think is the next best site. We've got Bunks and Briefing. Now, the Bunks and Briefing site, I think, is better than top floor. I think top floor is the 3rd site, and then weapons maintenance is the worst site. I actually think this is a better site. More often than not, the push is going to come from the breach here, which is external. which looks out of this door. Which looks out of there. So the push is going to come from the... let me just show you. I mean, you probably know the map already, but whilst I'm here, I might as well show you. That's the breach. So you're going to have people pushing the breach, and then they push this door. There's a hatch there, and this pushes out into the lobby area. That way. So, we need to cover this door. We need to cover this area. We need to cover the back door over there. And then you can either put one to cover the breach, so you could chuck it like up here, or somewhere to cover the breach area. I think, again, it's better off used upstairs, so you can cover this hatch drop and anyone playing above, because all this floor is soft. So if they know what they're doing, or if they at least they think they know what they're doing, they're going to at least make some vertical above on the side, because it's a nightmare to defend. So this area to cover here, I like to put the camera up in the middle between these two monitors, so they can't see it when they walk in. By the time they walk in and they're here, it can be seen. And obviously anyone walking through this door, looking at the side door, they're going to get picked up as well. I know it looks obvious when you look from here, but trust me, people aren't going to be looking to the right, because that's an external door. The next one we want to look at is covering the backside. Covering the backside, grow up. This area here, which goes into bunks. Now, I've been experimenting around here, because there's a couple of different places you can... Like, I tried putting it there, but then it got seen quite a few times. I've tried tucking it up in this gap here. What I've found recently works quite well is throwing it up here. Now, the reason that works well is you can't see it from there, and you can't shoot it from there, but it gives you a decent view of the door and anyone pushing close to the door. It's going to give you more of like a sort of sound command. Yeah, I'm trying to think about how I could run around whilst being on that camera, but I can't, obviously. But you're going to be able to see anyone who walks down that corridor where I am here, obviously. But more importantly, you're going to see if anyone gets to the door, like right here. But then also, anyone who's coming down these stairs, or anyone who's peeking this door, or anyone who's getting aggressive on this door, like crouching, moving around, is definitely going to get picked up by that camera, and you're definitely going to hear them. Obviously, you can't shoot it from there because you can't see it, but it gives you more of a sound cue than anything. But it's a really secure camera. The other one that we want to do is upstairs. Where are we? Sorry, no, I've lost my bearings there. Is upstairs in here. This is the hatch. Now, I've been experimenting a few different places in here. Sometimes you can throw it on the back of this chair on a good angle. And other times it does this, and you can't turn the camera around. Like, you can only turn it around to there. Like, you can't turn it around very far at all. So, every now and then when I throw it... Excuse me. That's cough again, sorry. When I throw it, I don't want to keep just, like, wasting your time now, because there's no guarantee it works. I've been testing it for, like... As you can see, this round's 22 minutes in, so it started at 30 minutes. So I've been testing it for like 7 minutes to see if I can get it right. But every time I threw it, sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But to try and get it like underneath the chair, it doesn't always work. So I think the next best one is just as simple as chucking it up right up in this corner here in the darkness, where if it's not active, it's going to be difficult to see. Anyone walking in here is obviously not going to see it. You've just got to try and watch anyone who's coming from this side who might see it perhaps. It's a little bit more obvious, but it's going to give you the view of the hatch. And also for any pre-placed C4s you want to place, you know, underneath, wherever you... People are going to be opening that hatch, then they're going to sit here and drone whilst they drone the hatch, because they think they're away from the hatch and safe. Obviously, you get your C4s from below. Pre-placing is definitely the way to go. People are going to be walking through this door and walking through this door, or walking through this door. So to place your C4 there, like there, or there, just as they walk in. Remember, with pre-placed C4s, you don't want to be putting it right on the doorway, because you've got to give yourself time to get off the camera or to get a comm from a teammate. So somebody's coming through this door, you want to be placing your C4 about here. By the time you look at your camera, you get off your camera, and then you press your button, they're going to walk from there to there. So don't place it right at the front of the door. But yeah, that's the next site. We're on the top floor site now, and there's 3 main areas you definitely want to be covering here. The first one is over in operational. Now, I've made the head holes already. There's a couple of options you can do here. I do place it in operational, or you could place it outside of operational up here on the corner to give you the cover once they come out of operational, and it would also cover this area as well. But with the head holes, it does cover this area to an extent where I throw it. So behind this screen... Oh, don't fall off the bench. That's embarrassing. Just there. Now, the reason we put it there is it can't be seen when you come in, because it's hidden by the screen. Obviously, by the time you get here, you're not looking backwards that direction. Gives you a really good view of the back end of operational, but also through those head holes. If anyone pushes up to here, you're going to see them through the head holes as well. Now, the next one is going to go over on the east side to cover the back end of the site. Again, an increasingly popular way to attack is via this window, via this corridor. No one seems to defend this site. Everyone's worried about the breach and worried about operational. This side often goes uncontested most of the time. Dead simple, though. All you're going to do is throw a camera up in that gap there, in the corner. And that's going to give you a view of the window underneath, all the way down that corridor to where the stairs are to the lobby, and obviously this area as well. This one's really, really solid, gives you really good coverage. and it's pretty well hidden as well to an extent. Obviously, again, I always say we know it's there, but we do know it's there. Anyone else doesn't know it's there. It's tucked up in the corner nicely. Now, the next area you want to cover is a really tough one because you want to be covering this area here. So anyone pushing down the corridors here from the north bridge, or anyone pushing around this door here, pushing into our 6 room. And storage, you don't have to worry about too much because obviously, depending how you play, it's going to be a rotate here or reinforce it off, however you want to do it. You want to be covering this area here. Now, how do you do this? And genuinely, I don't know the answer. I've been throwing it up in this corner here, but let me just throw it a little bit further down so I'll be able to pick it up back up. If you throw that there, someone pushes from the north bridge, which is along here. When they get down to here, they start pushing down. That's pretty obvious to me, I think. I just don't know where the best place to cover is. What I've tried doing is placing it further back on this corridor, high up. There, so anyone that comes through this door, they do come through there. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? Like, it seems really obvious. But just hoping that they don't see it, really, because this is a massively key area that you've got to cover, because a lot of the pushes do come down this door to our 6 room here. So I'm still not mad sure on where I want to put the camera to cover down here. So this is a sort of an open question. I can't think. Well, I say I can't think. I've done loads of testing and trying to figure it out. I've tried putting it up in this corner so it's not seen by this door, but then obviously you don't get to see the door to our 6 room. You see the corridor, so you know if someone's pushing down and round there, and it is well hidden, but you don't get to see this door. But still trying to find somewhere to put it here. I've tried putting it up here, which is a good place as well. And you get the sound cues coming down from this side and this side. The only thing is you don't get to see much until the enemies get to like here, when by the time they're on the door, you're just going to have to use the sound cues. But if you put it up there, it is pretty well hidden. It's generally not going to get shot out because they're not going to see it as they come down. But this is a sort of an open one. If you've got any good ideas of where how you cover this area with a Valk cam, then please let me know. Maybe we'll do an amendment to the video. But yeah, maybe there. Where did I throw it last? Sorry, up there. I lost where I threw it. There is okay. It's a bit obvious from this door if anyone pushes. There is okay, but it doesn't give you info on this door. And there is also good, probably the better one, I would say, because you can use the sound until they get to here. But obviously you don't get the early warning of anyone walking down this corridor until they get to about here and they start making sound. So yeah, let me know if you know a good one. Finally then, on to weapons maintenance and armory, which I believe is by far the worst site on the map. There's also a radio in here, so make sure you shoot the radio. So why is this site the worst on the map? Is because you can just drop this hatch here, you can plant in the corner tucked in. This is all soft above, so you can just make vertical along here, hold the door, hold the rotate, hold the door, hold the door, hold the rotate, and you can just plant for free here. The only thing that can stop you is if a defender with a C4 from here can throw a C4 like that. It's the only thing that can stop that attack. If you're good enough, you can play a Thatcher or an EMP to try and stop the C4. You can even shoot the C4, or you can just bait the plant, wait for the C4, and then swing the guy in here. It's just not a good site. It's really easy to attack because this hatch is above and operational, and we know how easy it is to get operational. So this area here, I don't think you need to worry about. Nobody pushes from here that often, and if they do, this area here is easy enough to hold. I would argue you could even place somebody holding in here on the window, holding there and holding there. You could even place somebody in there, but you don't need to worry about that, I don't think. The one area you do need to cover is back here on the entrance to Armoury. You got the stairs here in the corridor. Put it on the back of the bin, down on the floor like that. Can't see it as you approach the door. You're going to get the sound as they approach the door, and you can see all of the door when they walk in as well. The next area you want to be looking at is the lobby area, and I take back what I said earlier on. Remember we were looking at the basement and I said put it on top of the missile? Well, I've actually come up with a better idea. You know when we missed and we hit there? I've actually come up with a better idea. Throw it in the middle of this light. Try and get it somewhat central. I think it ends up being pretty well hidden in my opinion, and it gives you a better view from above anyway. So just, yeah, ignore what I said about the top of the missile. This is actually a better idea. I can't believe I didn't think about that earlier, but that's a better idea. So yeah, place that in there. That's going to give you the view of obviously the lobby area. And you can see the door there. This is the side door. Let me go and stand on it. You can see my feet there. It's only a couple of pixels, but it's enough to see that's my leg there moving around. If I move back, you'll see more of me. See a good angle on the door there. And no, if anyone finds that, they deserve a medal. And then finally, the last one is going to do exactly what we did when we covered the top floor, but it's going to cover operational as well. We're going to put it in exactly the same place. This is the hatch, the side hatch here. Just open it. This is the side hatch. So all you need to do is drop there. So put the camera, like we said before, behind the TV. That's going to give you the view of the hatch. So all these, the vertical lines here go this direction, and that's the door you've got to protect as well. So, like, if you're worried, if you've got a teammate planting and you're worried about that door, and you've made the vertical here, all you've got to do is sit and hold the door. Like, they can't push out because you've got cover of the door. And again, you make vertical here, Come on, Deagle. Make vertical here, and that's the soft wall. You can just hold the soft wall. If they've got to rotate on the end, you can just, oh, they've got any head holes, you can just hold the soft wall as well. And then whilst the other person drops, tucks in here, and just plants right in the corner. I think it's a really, really poo site. And not just because of that attack, but it's just really easy to get control of things. Like, for example, operationals directly above here, as we've just seen, where we've been making that vertical. So you can get control of operational really easily, and you can make all the vert over this site. All of a sudden, no defenders can be in this room. You can even tuck plant here, maybe. Or tuck in, like, tuck it right into the corner here. And what are they going to do from there? Like, this is solid. What are they going to do from there? They can't do anything. It's just not a good site. But they're the 3 Valk cams I use on here in order of the... sorry, they're the 3 Valk cams I use on there. And they're all the Valk cams that I use in order of which sides I think are the best on Lair. So it goes basements, then bunks, then top floor, and then weapons maintenance. So there we have it. There's some Valkyrie spots on Lair for each site. There's not a great deal to talk about in the outro. I normally like to go, and this is why this is good, and this is why that's good. Well, there isn't really a lot to talk about. Valkyrie's amazing. Always has been, always will be. There's 3 camp spots for each site. If you know any, this is what I haven't said actually. If you know any camp spots that I haven't mentioned, or if you know any secret ones where the, you know, where you can get it behind certain like bits of metal and you can't shoot it from one side or whatever, let me know in the comments below, or message me on Twitter. Get in touch with me somehow and let me know some better spots. Maybe we'll do another video later down the line where it's like secret Valk camp spots rather than just Valk camp spots. Who knows? As always, thank you to you, the viewer, for being the goat to the channel and for watching the video. I might make the content, but if there's nobody out there to watch the videos, what's the bloody point? So thank you very much for watching them. Don't forget, if you want to support me in other places as well, I stream on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, obviously sub to the YouTube. I've got a Patreon in the description below if you want to get involved there as well. Up to you how you want to do it. I just appreciate you watching the video. If you want to go above and beyond, hey, you treat yourself. But thank you very much for watching the video anyway. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Cheers!